I have been more interested in trying to find good shells for Unlucky Witness. And I think that Unlucky Witness plays really well with Aether Vial, being able to vial it in, block, and then get your Unlucky Witness cards on the next turn. And then another card that I think is pretty interesting in the Sacrifice archetype with Aether Vial is Imperial Recruiter, a card that I always try to figure out in Modern and like very often fail. But you know, you can grab your Unlucky Witness, you can grab Seasoned Pyromancer, Grist, Bloodghast, Carrion Feeder as other pretty powerful targets. You get access to some efficient sideboard cards post board as well. I feel like this list would be so much better if you could Recruiter for Mayhem Devil. You can't, which feels pretty bad. But I've been messing around with this and I've been liking it a lot too. Village Rites, Unlucky Witness. You could play Village Rites in this deck. The card's always kind of hard to figure out. And like one thing I kind of don't love about Village Rites is that like the Rakdos sack deck is already like very grindy and effectively gets to draw a lot of cards, right? But this like the deck is also not great at just transforming cards into advantage. It's not like you're playing Murktide or Grixis Shadow, and if you have a 1-mana draw 2, you can just use that to get 2 1-for-1s and start to run your opponent out of resources. Instead, you're drawing, you know, your board is, you're decreasing your board with your Village Rites, and you're drawing more synergistic spells, and you're kind of slowing your draw down overall. And in fact, I think it's a bit better to play to the board, which is kind of why like, we're also like playing Unearth instead of for that effect, which brings cards back into play for the board, if that makes sense. So let me get the cards here. Judith over Mayhem Devil. You could play one as a recruiter target, but also Mayhem Devil is just like way better, so I think you should just play Mayhem Devil. Ragnar with the 12 months, appreciate you. I think it's like just specifically improving your Hammer Time matchup is really important. But just like having outs to Pithing Needle is like the most important thing. And Prismatic Ending answers everything, including Pithing Needle well. Speaking of Hammer Time. Yeah, Hitashi's gonna play Esper Stoneblade and win the whole tournament. Nostalgic for the old donation deck days, huh? What helped me settle on Esper Cookbook? Well, people always, I think, kind of look for somewhat simple answers to these questions, but my process is I just do nothing but play Magic nonstop for my entire life, and I put like 70 to 80 hours a week, usually on like on Modern, and the Esper Cookbook deck I think is both well positioned in the metagame and very powerful, and also one that I would play very well because I've been spending so much time with it. So it was a really good. I think I'm very happy with the choice. I'm gonna grab his Cauldron off Stoneforge, which can be a hard card to beat. Drawing land is bad too. Why not Merfolk? Okay, never mind. I will actually be playing Merfolk at the DreamHack event. Yeah, it is fun. It is definitely fun. It is certainly going to be a deck that I'll be really happy to get to play at a paper event. Inelegant, thank you for the 16 months. Appreciate you. Elegant to me, huh? So I think what I'm going to do is not attack with Ragavan, and I'm going to play Mayhem Devil, and then the Mayhem Devil kills the Sentinel after the Urza Saga trigger, but I'm also, like, super dead. How many tokens am I bringing here? One of each, but Hitachi said he had some. Although, Hitachi, do you also have Saga tokens? Because I guess I need those too. Yeah, I do think for, like, a giant qualifier event like DreamHack Dallas... It does make sense to me to kind of play the deck that is more fun too, but I think I would choose food even if fun wasn't a factor. No Saga tokens. Okay, we'll find some. I'll draw some maybe. Maybe I have some. I have some tokens laying around, but not very many. No, Itashi's not local, but he's coming down for the tournament. So we need to draw Goblin Bombardment, maybe. How about another Bloodstained Mire? Let's go game 2. Yeah, I'll try not to forget any Bobble triggers. I know, you know, I'm going to be streaming the event, so I'm sure I'm going to have chat like screaming at me for the Bobble triggers. After the match, of course. I think on the play I want all the Ragavans. Probably cut one on the draw. Deck tech for Turnpike. The post link in chat. I will take a look. Did you talk about DreamHack to make sure it's cool? No, I haven't talked to DreamHack yet. I think it's gonna be like totally fine because like it's DreamHack, you know, like everybody's streaming the event and there's a lot of like local stuff. But I will talk to judges and organizers and make sure it's cool before I go. But I also know that Honorog is going and is live streaming it. I'm sure there's gonna be a couple of other backpack streams at the event. It's not gonna be just me. Tadashi took care of it. Hitachi, my manager, took care of it. Curious how many viewers I'm gonna have. Yeah, I think so too. I'm also curious. I think it's either gonna be a big success or a big flop, which is fine. I am at peace with it being a flop. Do I need a DreamHack badge into the MTG event? I think so. I don't know. Like, I've never been to DreamHack. I'm still like not exactly sure like what the whole convention is. I know it's, you know, roughly esports. And it's gonna be fun. I actually have a meeting with a pretty exciting sponsor at some point. I'll let you guys, obviously I'll let you guys know if it works out, but I'm pretty excited. Oh, by the way, shout out to NordVPN, who I am also happy with. Love NordVPN. This is cool. Yorion Yogg. I've seen some people do this every once in a while, and I do like the idea. I do think Neoform is kind of criminally underplayed in these decks, that Yorion tends to be good in creature tutor decks like this, and you get to play the full 4-chord evolution, Neoform, full 4 Grist, you get to play the Flibble Flip, the double image. I kind of love it. This looks pretty sick. I think that you could maybe afford to do some like kind of cute stuff, like second Giraffe's Messenger. Remember, yeah, you have the Carrion Feeder, Kitchen Sphinx, Giraffe's Messenger combo, which is fine. I'm trying to think if there's any, like, you could play, like, I mean, I probably shouldn't recommend you play too many bad cards, but, like, the 3-mana Flip Liliana is always a card I've liked a lot, but it's probably not very good. Oh, wait, 26 lands has got to be way too few, though, right? In the Yorion deck? I would want to keep the same ratio. If that ratio is the same, then ignore me, I guess, but this seems too low. Will I be playing Esper the side events as well? I will be, yeah. Parabol, thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate you. Although, yeah, I will say that I feel like you really need more tutor targets post-board. So, like, a Collector Oof, I think, would go a long way. A Reclamation Sage to tutor up with your tutors. I guess you have the Outland Liberator. Maybe just Liberator, although maybe Rec Sage, too. Especially with the Neoform, you kind of want different mana values. Oh, that's another thing. Usually with Neoform, I was kind of happy playing Obelisk Spider as a win condition, and that's like, it's a win condition, and when you're going off with your Yawgmoth combo, like Blood Artist is. Oh, you forgot the Blood Artist. You forgot your Blood Artist. Play the Blood Artist. You can maybe cut the second image or the second Sphinx, but it's a But Obelisk Spider is a different mana value, so if you can only sacrifice a 2, you can get a 3, which is pretty relevant. And then, I think I'm gonna dash to Ragavan, which is pretty relevant. And then it also like triggers through Rest in Peace, which Blood Artist doesn't do, which is also kind of relevant. So yeah, maybe go +1 Spider, +1 Blood Artist, -1 Image, -1 Sphinx, and then play a lot of more focused creature targets in the sideboard, like Collector Oof and Reclamation Sage. Maybe Big Game Hunter for Murktide. I could see Big Game Hunter being good. Okay, kind of scared of the Nexus here. It's a type of both. Sack here. Love to find my Reclamation Sage. Instead we find a Grist. Oh, sorry. We obviously don't get both cards. Well, instead I'll do this and hope my opponent doesn't have Land Hammer. It's maybe better anyways. Brady with the 21 months, appreciate you. Would Pernicious Deed see modern play? It'd probably see a little bit, yeah. Looks like they are gonna have it. Okay, I'll keep this speculative 4-land Vial hand because I really want to Vial an Unlucky Witness. This stand is definitely like, you know, mono good top decks too. Recruiter, Grist, Goblin Bombardments, Seasoned Pyromancer. Ooh, now we're playing against Yogg. A bit of lag there. Big draw step. Terrible draw. Although we'll make top deck recruiters better. And, you know, we get to Vial Unlucky Witness here, block the Young Wolf, presumably. And hopefully find a 3-drop for next turn. Or at least Goblin Bombardment. Bombardment would be pretty good with this Bloodghast. Unearth Ragavan, huh? So probably just unearthing Unlucky Witness since the Ragavan's not going to be that good. They play a turn 2 Wall of Roots and another copy of Young Wolf. Take both vials up. So I could cast the Grist, but then I don't get any of my Unlucky Witness cards or either of my Unlucky Witness cards, and I want to get them, so I will Violin the Bloodghast, and then we can maybe go like Violin Grist, sack Unlucky Witness, or sack Bloodghast, kill Yawgmoth, kill Wall of Roots. Get the next Unlucky Witness card. Opponent is making green mana so that they can cord for 1 end of turn, which likely means they're going to Yawgmoth me. And then if they can find a Chord of Calling, they can cord for Blood Artist and kill me on their turn. They also have a land drop to play, but they don't have enough mana to cast the Blood Artist. I think I'll just pack it in. I don't really see us winning from this point. Land and cord. No, if they cord on their turn, they just have Wall of Roots for 2. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, right. So have 2 Young Wolves in the wall for the cord cost, then 2 more for the Blood Artist. When does deck stop ticking Vial? At 3. So we're bringing the Voidwalkers in this matchup. Don't have too much else. I think it's just Voidwalker for Ragavan here. And then in this matchup, it's really important to like establish Goblin Bombardment / Mayhem Devil quickly. Otherwise, you just fall too far behind. They use walls, so they need 1 more land. They use the wall on. They can use the wall again on my turn. So they find the Chord of Calling, they pass to my turn, and then they can cord for 2. But obviously, they're also really likely to find a land after drawing with the Yawgmoth. But they just use the wall again on my turn. Yes, you can Violin Grist. How do I spin a decklist review? If you type !deck in the chat, you can get the info on how to do that. Okay, this is a very good hand. Obviously, we're missing double black for Voidwalker, but just having the curve of Witness into Bombardment into Grist is kind of like about as good as it gets in this matchup. Oh my gosh, I've made so many stupid mistakes with this deck, but I'm like I wanted to get Overgrown Tomb on turn 1 so I could cast Voidwalker on turn 2, but for some reason I'm like I just obviously can't cast the Unlucky Witness. I've made so many stupid mistakes today. If I draw a black source, it's kind of all good. Okay. Not all good. New ob modern playable. Yes, it is modern playable, but I think it mostly it goes in decks like this usually, but is also it's pretty debatable. Like if that's the best version of this deck. Start to think about the weekend. I just haven't been sleeping that well, to be honest. Is really what it is. The AC for the upstairs is broken. We're gonna have someone come out to fix it, but it's been pretty rough to sleep in the hot Texas summer with no AC. I think in my instep though, I'm gonna kill this string root guy so they can't Court of Calling, and then I get to keep the unlucky witness cards till my turn. Doing this in my instep. Another witness is great. Although it did rain last night. We have people coming to fix the AC tomorrow. So in theory, Doomwake's only going to be suffering in the... Or not going to really be suffering too much because it rained last night. And it's going to be like 80-ish today, I think. So it should all be fine. So I think I'm just killing both Young Wolves again on my instep here to... I'll take a look at the second turnpike. To stop Court of Calling again. Always feels so satisfying to like to kill these without them undying. Another Witness and another Voidwalker. Pretty good. Any consideration for doing co-op stream with Doomwick Live, or did you tell him he couldn't vape in the house so he didn't want to stream? I don't think I really want to stream in the house. I don't think that would be very interesting. And as far as like co-op live stream, like Doomwick will be there. We'll be hanging out. It'll be a good time. I didn't even, this was all kind of like last minute planned when Hitachi was like, "Hey, you can borrow my setup," very generously. Yeah, the sideboard, I feel like you really need to go through like different tutor targets that you can play. Like, I would play Reclamation Sage, I would play Collector Oof, I would play a few other cards. I'm not sure like the exact exact numbers, I guess, but I just recommend like going through like all the cards that you would usually play as tutor targets in these kinds of archetypes and figuring out the ones you want to play here. It's unbearable. If it's unbearable, like the downstairs AC works at least, so I can sleep on the couch. But it should be fine. Like this, like the weather's like very thankfully cool today, and then they're coming to install new AC units tomorrow. Hope Environment for Spyro. I think I want to play it because of Besage You, but it's kind of close, especially because I probably just want to channel this next turn. What if opponent told me hard nose when asking to stream the live match? I mean, I would respect it. I think I don't think I have really any choice. I was doing some leagues together in Moto. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like I would. I could talk to Doom. That could be fun. But also Doom may just want to like enjoy his vacation and not stream Moto leagues in this cramped room with me. Recruiter doesn't look appealing to me. How much of playing the card is being able to do sideboard targets? I mean, some amount. I don't have a number for you, but I think the card's very powerful. Game 1 in this Vile deck. With with Vile and Unearth, Recruiter definitely picks up a lot of stock. Okay, so that plan definitely worked out well in the draw. Hopefully it works out almost as well for game 3. Sorry, worked out well on the play. Hopefully it works out this well in the draw. But it's also like, of course, like with Recruiter, you want to play Vile. That's a very classic combo. But the other theory here is that Unlucky Witness is really good with Aether Vial too, where you get to Vile it in and block on your opponent's turn. That's a big part of the ideas here. Any updates on Jund Recruiter Vile deck with Kiki and stuff? Any updates on a not Jund Recruiter Vile deck with Kiki and stuff? No. I feel like sometimes people just say stuff. I don't have a John Kiki Recruiter Vial deck. Sand's fine if it draws a black source in the top 2, and we're already on a mulligan. I think I'm gonna keep. Not Jund. Oh, not Jund. You had a Jeskai or 4-color one before. Oh, yeah, I remember I had the Jeskai one. I don't have any updates now. I was confused by the not. They're like Sagaless Jund. Yeah, I think Riveteer's Charm is great. I think that card is it's easily like awesome draw. It's easily one of my favorite cards from the new set, and I think that gives you a good reason to not play Saga. You can still play Saga too, but I think right now like Jund players have the decision of either playing Charm or Saga, and maybe just trying to evaluate which is better on any given weekend. Although stupid Aether Vials. I could discard the Season Pyromancer. Although it is also the case, like I don't know like what situations make Saga all of a sudden really viable, because I can't remember the last time I lost to or saw anybody lose to token beatdowns. It feels like everybody's really ready to like not lose to Urza Saga token beatdowns. But you know, but maybe like main decking like Pithing Needle is good if like Belcher gets popular. Okay, Blood Artist is fine. Opponent's draw has been pretty anemic, I think. I'm gonna play my my Grist this turn, I think. And then I might chump block the Ooze, I might not. Kind of depends on if I feel like I need to kill the Ooze next turn. Because if I kill the Ooze, it's really cool if I get to potentially like unearth a 3-drop. I guess I don't have a 3-drop in my hand, but I could mill over one with Grist. This is game 3. Could Maestr's Charm be good in Living End? I think Maestr's Charm is generally pretty weak. I think that the current Living End list would have a hard time casting Maestr's Charm, but they could potentially. I also keep wanting to play the Esper Obscura Charm somewhere. Like I think that card is, it's one of those cards that it is strong enough for Modern, but the deck building restrictions that you have to jump through in order to meet its requirements are like rough enough that I think it's probably not good enough. Where like it requires you to be playing like a lot more multicolor Esper 3-drops in a deck that is also playing this 3-mana Obscura Charm. You know what I mean? Okay, so I need to play another creature before I minus my Grist. Because if I just minus Grist first, they're going to kill my Voidwalker and I can't kill the Yawgmoth. But now I'll just minus, and then they kill my Unlucky Witness in response. But now I can just unearth the Voidwalker after killing this here, so this should be fine. So we go sack Voidwalker, kill Yawgmoth. They don't have green mana for Ooze, which is really nice. And then I guess we get to go Carrion Feeder, Aether Vial, and Earth. What do you do with Obscure Charm besides ramming Teferi? Well, you can kill creatures, and you can you get to kill creatures and or I guess we lose the Grist to this attack though. Yeah, kill creatures, counter spells, that's kind of the nice thing. Teferi is like the obvious good card to reanimate, and then that's the other thing, is like Teferi is really good, there's not really another good option. And it's also true like in most of like your traditional control decks, you don't really want to play the full 4 Teferi Time Raveler, it's kind of a lot. Just all, yeah, it's just the deck building restrictions behind that card are really rough. Hear me out, Obscure Charm with Asmo. Then you get to 3 mana Asmo. Yeah, you really need to maximize getting back 3-drops, I think. And second Yawgmoth. I guess their start was pretty anemic. Hard to be too upset about this. We still have the Voidwalker in play. I would love to like get to draw step Croxa them with the Vial, but I think I just have to cast the Spyro and discard the Croxa too. Okay, those are two pretty good cards. It's going to allow me to have a strong turn next turn to get to go Mayhem Devil, Violent Voidwalker with the Sack Outlet in play. And with the Voidwalker in play, my opponent's going to have a hard time comboing. Mayhem Devil is very good against Yawgmoth, of course. That is Unreal. I guess maybe Unreal is a bit hyperbolic, but this is the worst top deck for me by so much. Now they get to just machine gun down all my creatures, and there's nothing I can do about it. Maybe I should have blocked the token and sacked. Eat my ooze. The life gain off the ooze is also rough. Okay, they're not starting the loop yet. I don't really know what I can draw to really get out of this. If I could, like, Vial in Mayhem Devil, it'd be so much better for me. But I have to just cast it. I've thought about cutting one Emery, one Manufacturer, main deck Shadow Spear for 3 push and food. I mean, we were kind of talking about this decision, like, just, like, putting Fatal Push in like decks because you feel like every modern deck needs to have 1 mana 1-for-1s. But like oh, they have Endurance. Okay, well, it kind of feels like a slow roll to some extent. I don't know. It's like I don't know why we want to add that card. You know what I mean? Like I don't know like why we want to main deck Fatal Push where you have Asmo that can kill a ton of creatures. We have a good Hammer Time matchup with the current configuration. It's just like I just think that people get lost in the sauce a little bit, and they develop a a syndrome where they just feel like they need to play Fatal Push in every single deck. Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt or Thoughtseize, and then you reduce the synergies that you have in Esper Food. Like your very, very important, like game-defining synergies. Oh, hold on. I guess I've kind of misread the board a little bit because I can actually because I have the Carrion Feeder, I get to stop them from doing their Hapatra loop. And because I sacked the Voidwalker here, they don't get their they don't get to keep their loop going, and I guess they get to cast a Blood Artist. And now we're actually just not doing that bad. I think attack not with the feeder. Yeah, for whatever reason I forgot that we get to break up the Hapatra loop with the Carrion Feeder here. Okay, so my opponent's at 12. I can Violent a creature here. And every time I sack a creature, I get to deal 2. So I Violin Voidwalker, I sack Elemental Token, 2 triggers go on the stack. My opponent is then forced to sack Scavenging Ooze, but then I guess I don't get my Blood Artist triggers if the Voidwalker's in play. No, I think I just start blasting. Because yeah, whenever if they activate Yawgmoth, they lose 3 life. I think they're just dead. Wait, so Voidwalker, that's 2 down to 6. 5. 5, 3, uh-oh, hold on. Maybe they're not dead. Yeah, because I can't sack the Mayhem Devil and the Feeder. But maybe just play them to 8 here is good. Having the Bletmeyer up. They can't really do anything. Is 4 unearthed in the food deck too many unearthed? No, I mean, I don't think so. I'm really happy with that many. Ping 1 with the fetch. Yeah, I know I have Ping 1 with the fetch, but it's Voidwalker's 2 down to 6. Sack down to 5. Then we sack Mayhem Devil or Blood Artist is 2. Down to 3. We just have to wait. We're still, I think, in really good position, though. Where they can't activate Yawgmoth. I guess they have the ooze. We've already attacked this turn. Kill a Patra. We could, but like the what's cool about this spot is the Carrion Feeder blanks a Patra, and if my opponent like activates Yawgmoth, they like all of a sudden are in pretty bad shape. Lava Mancer with the 4 months. Thank you. Although maybe the problem, I guess now that I have the Voidwalker in play, they only take 1 or 2 damage because they have to pay a life for the Yawgmoth too. It's a close game. We could have cast Endurance off Voidwalker for extra damage. This Voidwalker has Summoning Sickness, and we cast the Blood Artist, which is more damage. So this is going to be 8 with a maximum of 10. I think I'm not blocking, and if they can't sack more creatures to eat with ooze because I have Voidwalker in play. Lava Mancer with the 4 months and Jeep Fiend with the 7. Thank you. Really tin spot. Tech for Fiscal. Salt Typhoon. So you have 27 minus 3, 24 hits for your collected company, which is like too many. Ideally you would have 26, 27. 27 likely is better than 26, but you can get away with 26. That's a pretty clear immediate issue I see here trying to play Coco. Another issue I have always with building the deck like this, when you're raising the curve. You're playing collected company. You're playing dirtily cards like Tribute Mage and Grist, cards that are very, very slow. And to facilitate this, you're cutting your time sieves, which of course you can Tribute Mage, but Tribute Mage for time sieve is very, very slow. Okay, so they're sacking. They lose a life when this trigger goes away. So I need to go point this at Essence Warden, try to let this resolve. That resolves. And now they can see. Okay, because they're dead. What a close game. The biggest issue with every Asmo deck in the history of Asmo decks is that you end up making the deck slower, and you raise the mana curve, and you make your bad matchups worse, and you make your good matchups not that much better. Like, what I love about the Esper Food version is you get to be very low to the ground. You get to play Unearth, which is way better against 1 mana removal. It makes your deck faster at the same time. It makes your Academy Manufacturers a lot better, being able to like discard them and unearth them really quickly to have a super explosive draws, or if they die to removal, you get to untap, unearth them, and go really crazy. I'm not a fan of building the deck this way. Playing Collector Oof in your Urza Saga Time Civ deck is... Sorry, in your Underworld Cookbook Time Civ deck is a mistake in your deck building. You should never play Oof in a deck like this. I would probably recommend maybe more Fulminator Mages to compensate for the worse big mana matchups with the way you built the deck, but we would love to play the Karn now. They would have played Mayhem Devil here. They didn't have an answer for the Ragavan, so I'm thinking this is going to go uncontested. Yeah, it looks like we're up against Coffers. All right, so just some loose thoughts on like why I don't like to build the deck this way. But you are, of course, free to build the deck any way you like and ignore me. So we're a little short of lethal, but I don't think my opponent's going to be able to do much this next turn. Do we have to pay for entry to the event for both days and the moderate entry at the event for the tournament? I believe so, yes. I'm very privileged and lucky, and I was given a content creator pass for this weekend. But I believe that you have to pay for your own pass. Although I also think like literally anybody could have signed up and you get a pass. Like as long as you have like I don't remember like sending I think I just like emailed them. I don't think I sent them like my username or like my stats or anything. Maybe I did. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I actually think I just didn't send them anything. I don't recommend abusing the system like that, but I am saying, like, if you are a content creator, I think that there's no content creator too small for these kind of incentive programs. Everyone knows who Spike is. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like, there's no way like the person in charge of this knows who I am. You know what I mean? Or it's very, very unlikely. And I also don't think anybody else like submitted like their name or anything. So that's my my guess is there's not like a cap size. So if you have a Twitch channel, you have a YouTube channel, no matter how small, get capitalize on that for these kind of events. It's more likely than I believe. I mean, I don't know. I've never been recognized outside of a Magic tournament. I feel like if you like it, you know what I mean? I think it's less likely than you guys believe. Alright, they do have Cabal Coffers Urborg. And we have Bombardment plus double Bloodghast, but I'm not sure what's better. Because I can either like just cast these in Pyromancer, discard to. Oh well, I guess I'm just casting that now. Oh, I shouldn't have played my land yet because I have the Bloodghast. Well, now I can just wait. But I think stopping their artifacts is pretty nice. Stopping Golos, and then I can also grab Void Mirror or Chalice and just put them into my hand for potential Seasoned Pyromancers. Did I play Elden Ring on stream at all? I did play a little bit, yeah. I liked the game a lot. I didn't stream like my whole playthrough, but I did finish my whole playthrough. And what? They didn't kill my Ragavan? I did finish my playthrough, and I liked the game a lot. Blast Zone. So I think they'll probably pop the Blast Zone. I don't think it's that bad for me. Put in the Bloodghast. It's at 15, so I guess the proper sequencing here is attack my opponents for 2. Sack here, get a basic mountain. I can probably just leave this uncracked so I can get more value because I have an extra Bloodghast for next turn. Discard the Chalice and the Bloodghast, and then now I'll go sack Bloodghast, play tapped Overgrown Tomb, get back both Bloodghasts, pass back. Ever play Rocket League? I haven't played it, but it does look really fun. My local meta is 80% aspiring spike decks. What should I play? Probably something with Veil of Summer. Probably something with Veil of Summer. Feed the Swarm my Bombardment. Okay, I just have another one in the hand, I guess. I think we can kill my opponent here. Yeah, we just simply attack, sack whatever they block with the Murderous Rider, kill them. Don't even need the Unlucky Witness. Oh yeah, Mono Blue Tron usually crushes me too. Is Bombardment the best sack outlet in the game? It's definitely the best sack outlet in Modern. In the game? Maybe. Although that card is Modern legal and Bombardment's way better here. Although in different formats maybe. It's an interesting draw. Pod? Yeah, pod. It's like, a lot of times when you talk about sack outlets, like, I feel like you're not really talking about cards like Pod or Neoform, you know? Okay, let's just pass back. I don't really want to play the bombardment into what is a very, very likely counterspell. Yeah, KCI. That's it. That's it. That's like a real sack outlet. I don't think I really count cards like Birthing Pod. I'm gonna gatekeep sack outlets, I guess. I love this. I love being able to violent Unlucky Witness as a blocker. I'm like really getting kind of nerdy about it. Let me update the record tracker too. Looks like they're just gonna let the block happen. Super sweet 2-for-1. We hit Ragavan, Unearth. Both pretty good hits here. So I guess with Ragavan in hand, I'll start off by unearthing Unlucky Witness. Seeing what my opponent does. If they counter this Unearth and get to resolve Bombardment, we're going to be in phenomenal shape. Spell Pierce. Well, I guess I could have played around that. I think at this point, I just have to trade Bombardment for Counterspell if they have it. They probably have it. Okay, they don't. Awesome. Well, feeling really good about our spot then. We don't have any green mana for Grist, but we can Violet it next turn. We have Bloodghast Goblin Bombardment coming, which is really powerful in like every matchup. Then we also have Mayhem Devil Bombardment. Just have it all. Did I forget about Hogak Summer and Altar? Yeah, sure, but like Goblin Bombardment may have been better than I guess they didn't play. No, they did play red. Yeah, they played red for looting. Like Bombardment may have been better than no, I guess Altar was part of the combo. I always forget. Okay, opponent exiles on Holy Heat here. Yeah, I guess Altar is better than Bombardment in the Hogak deck specifically. So they decide not to heat the Bloodghast. I think I like dashing. If my opponent kills it, that's fine. If they counter it, it's fine. No biggie. And then it's got to be better to play Grist first, right? If you wanted to play a GPU right now, what would I pick at the moment and why? Am I getting quizzed here? I didn't study. I mean, I'm playing Esper Food this weekend in DreamHack Dallas. I'm going to hold this for the Blood Crypt. I'm playing Esper Food this weekend in DreamHack Dallas. I think it is well positioned and powerful and fun, and I've been playing it a lot, so I would play it really well. In 100 words or less, Aspiring Spike, explain what deck you would play at a GP this weekend. You can set Grist of Bombardment. You can't. I don't think it lets you. Did it highlight? You're not able to. You shouldn't be able to. If that is happening, it is a bug. Well, it's a phenomenal draw. Okay, well, we will simply not exploit the bug. Oh yeah, maybe it was the target of the bombardment is what it highlighted. I can see that being the case. Okay, so now we played this Bloodghast, and then obviously not very weak to a counterspell here. And with this land in my hand, I'm going to start blasting a little bit. Oh yeah, Grist is a bug. Very flavorful. It's a modern deck that's built to be based around new, highly efficient green cards like Once Upon a Time and Veil. Well, Once Upon a Time is banned. You also can't build around a card like Veil of Summer. Oh, I just have them dead here. You can't build around a card like... you can't build around reactive cards like Veil of Summer. Especially like sideboard cards, you know. Okay, So up a game against Murktide. I had at one point a third grist in my sideboard for this matchup, but then I play tested a little bit off stream and I was just kind of winning a lot, so I ended up cutting it, and I currently have the sideboard plan of not sideboarding, so let's see if that continues to work out. What happened to the Hive Mind Pact deck? Well, the Titan players haven't been in on Hive Mind Pact since the banning of Slumber Bloom. It is kind of an interesting 6-mana 2-card combo that is hard to interact with. That being said, like I think there's just kind of better combos and better cards to be playing in Titan too. Well, I like this hand, definitely. Against a turn 1 of Ragavan, I'm kind of not sure what I'm going to do. I think I just play the stupid Vial. Yeah, you never got hit by a Ragavan before. I get hit by Ragavan all the time. Okay, just maybe hoping to dodge an Archmage's Charm. Then make changes to the Esper food list. Not at the time of making this comment. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm gonna register the 75 I was streaming the other day at DreamHack this weekend. Or plan to, at least. What do you think about Hushbringer and Esper Food sideboard? 4-color Omnath is your best matchup. I'm like 9-0 against it. If that's the card you want for Omnath, I recommend not. It also turns off your own Asmo ETB trigger, which is kind of bad, but your Imri ETB trigger. But Omnath is your best matchup, or one of your best matchups, and you shouldn't be playing Hushbringer anyways, because that card's kind of weak anyways. Against humans, I don't know that that's the best card against humans. I mean, turning off your own Asmo and Imri triggers are really bad. I don't think I've played that matchup either, but like Asmo is really good there. Your combo is really good there. But I would also probably play Plague Engineer. I guess that would be my pick, is Plague Engineer. What did I land on for Shadow Spear versus Needle in the main deck? I landed on yes for Shadow Spear, specifically because Murktide is going to be popular, and Burn is probably going to be somewhat popular too. But against Murktide, like, your answer to a big Murktide game 1 is Shadow Spear on like a Construct, or Shadow Spear on something else, or Asmo, like killing the Murktide. But it is really common that like that's what Shadow Spear does, is helps you beat a Murktide. So I wanted to be in on that. Alright, so let's unearth Unlucky Witness instead of casting Mayhem Devil, so we can double spell with Bombardment Unlucky Witness. I'm gonna save the fetch land for a Mayhem Devil. There's a good chance this gets countered, but it's not the end of the world, especially when we've got plenty of more gas. But it resolves again, awesome. What time will the stream begin? So tomorrow there's going to be a Modern side event at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm likely to be live a little bit before then. I don't know. We're going to kind of play it by ear. And then I believe that the Modern tournament starts 10 a.m. Saturday, the main event, and I'll be live likely like 9:30, or gonna try. I'm gonna talk to Hitachi tonight and figure out battery, battery power, like what all the specs are, just figure it all out. How's Burn? Burn's pretty good. Burn is really good against Omnath. Like, I kind of wish people played Burn more often, so like Omnath took a peg down. It is, I guess Burn's like not that good against Murktide and Living In though. But it can be fine against Living In, and you'll win enough of your games against Murktide probably. When does Doom get in? Doom gets in like 2.5 hours. And I am picking him up from the airport too. Okay, Vile Ragavan. Probably gonna keep the Ragavan here. And the Vile's not too bad with the Recruiter. I kind of want to just Recruiter for Bloodghast though. What is Doom playing? I think Doom is playing Rhinos. Spoilers, I guess. Although he tweeted yesterday about like wanting to borrow Ren and 6s for Tamashi combo. I already loaned out my Ren and 6s to a friend of mine. But maybe he's trying to switch to Tamashi combo. Six Murktide is pretty fine, I think. It's a 3-turn clock, but Bloodghast Bombardment is pretty good at racing. Let's see what we draw. Well, if one Bloodghast is good, 2 Bloodghast is great. Gonna sack here. Bring back this Bloodghast. Cast another one. And then I think I should ping my opponent with... Maybe I should ping them with Ragavan. Yeah, this is one more damage. If I go ping them with Ragavan, I get to attack with the Recruiter and both Bloodghasts, and then I get to just block whatever. I get to sack whatever they block and deal 3 or 4. And then have fetch land in hand with 2 Bloodghasts. The living matchups really depend on the number of Vortex in the 75. People always say that. I really think Volted Vortex is so bad in Burn Sideboard and you should play Silence instead. Where it's like Living End has a ton of ways to deal with your Rolling Vortex post board. They have, Borrower / Beseiju / Otawara / Foundation Breaker post board. They're going to bring those cards in. They force of negation as well. And like being a 2-mana sorcery speed spell, it's really, really slow to like tap out for what is effectively like, 2 mana deal 6 damage. Also, like your sideboard card at the end of the day is kind of like, maybe deals 7 or 8 over the course of a couple turns, but it is not 2 mana win the game. It's not 2 mana stop them from cascading. Like if there's plenty of spots where it's just like completely correct for them to tank the 5 damage and then like just kill you with Living End. But Silence is a card that dodges all of their permanent hate, and triggers and is like much harder for them to play around too. Yeah, definitely better against Rhinos for sure than Living End, but it's way more relevant to be better against Living End right now, in my opinion. Vortex is also like a bad top deck too. I've been of this opinion for a long time. I feel really strongly about it, but I've been completely unable to convince, I think, any Burn players about this. Good top deck, although not necessary to win the game. Cast Silence on the turn, Living End goes off, Rhinos goes off. You respond to the Cascade spell. They cast Shardless Agent or Violent Outburst. You respond with Silence, and then their Cascade card doesn't get cast. Okay, 3-1. Sanctifier is a lot better than Rip now. That's not true. Living End laughs at the face of Rest in Peace. And, Living End laughs at Sanctifier. Living End laughs at you for playing Sanctifier. But people are so high on Sanctifier just because they hate losing to Ragavan. But the 2 cards are really, really different. And I think I'm just going to put back the Mayhem Devil, keep Triple Witness. But people just have this attitude, and like exactly what you're saying, that Sanctifier, that's so much better than Rest in Peace. I think I'm playing Ragavan on 1 now. A weird hand. Yeah, Silence can also be good against Titan. That's true. Also, like, Rest in Peace is way easier to cast and burn than Sanctifier 2. Do a favor for the NBA finals. I haven't kept up with the NBA in like 10 years. Or like 8 years. Chalice also seems better than Silence vs. Titan. Well, I think they're pretty different. But it grabs a Cauldra, so I'm assuming that they're going to be wanting to trade Esper Sentinel for Ragavan then, which will offer the trade so that we can go fetch Swamp, play Mountain, play Unlucky Witness. I think our loss this league was to Hammer Time, right? So we may have a Hammer Time sandwich here. Yeah, you're totally capable. If you want to be Titan as Burn, you should play Magus of the Moon. Like, I don't know that Titan is so popular that you really want to do that. Like right now, that's not necessarily what I'm advocating, but I am saying that I mostly just see Burn players have the attitude, I'm just gonna lose the Titan most of the time. And like that isn't the worst attitude you could have necessarily. It's fine. But you could also there are sideboard cards. You're in red, you can play to beat it. If you feel like that's right for the metagame. Does Rip stomp on blue red? Yeah, Rip is really good against blue red. Rip, Rest in Peace is like maybe better than Sanctifier against blue red. It's at least like somewhat close. It's so hard to erase this Cauldra. So first two cards are Mayhem Devil, Wooded Foothills. Mayhem Devil is really a key piece of this puzzle. I need to like make sure I don't mix these cards up though. And I hit Ragavan, Wooded or Goblin Bombardment. So I can cast Mayhem Devil, Ragavan. Next turn. Bestrel's Bloodghast, I think. They're at 20 life. It's gonna be kind of hard to deal them the full 20. Although, that was not a bad top deck either, where I get to set up really well next turn for Violent Season Pyromancer when I have Mayhem Devil, Goblin Bombardment in play. I will deal this damage directly to them. If I want to kill a Stoneforge Mystic, I still can. Obviously, this is best case scenario, them just sacking Horizon Canopy here. I guess I also should violin the Season Pyromancer on my upkeep, so I don't have to discard the card I draw if I don't want to. And I'm very comfortable being at 1 life. I'm at 1 life all the time. I'm less comfortable dealing my opponent a whole 19 damage in 1 turn in a spot like this, but maybe if I'm really lucky, I can find a second Mayhem Devil or... just put enough toughness in front, although it doesn't necessarily seem like that's going to be an option anymore. Well, I can go Bloodghast, kill both of their blockers. And I can chump block the Cauldron with Mayhem Devil and Seasoned Pyromancer. But ideally, instead, I'm going to be finding like a Minmite or just like any 2 toughness creature. Sentinel, well, doesn't really get the job done. Doesn't really get the job done. I think I'm going to sack the Sentinel to deal 2 to them now. Put them down to 14 so that I have a better chance of being able to attack with a Bloodghast, but I'm still like not really sure what my outs are. Probably involves top decking another Seasoned Pyromancer, I guess. Having my opponent have nothing. Yeah, I know it was close to lethal, but you know, no cigar. Don't think that this does it. Again, Seasoned Pyromancer, Bloodghast, but yeah, I can't do anything with the Paladin. Go to game 2. That's the line. Let's go into game 2. Close one, close one, close one. Let's bring in the Rex Sage, the 10th Street Tooligan, and the Collector Oof in favor of cutting the 4th file. 1 Feeder, 1 Bloodghast, I think, or maybe I'll even 4th Bloodghast, cut the 4th Croxa, or the 1st Croxa. So I'm gonna get my deck tech reviewed. Did you post earlier for your deck tech, Jerry, or what am I missing? Yeah, did I miss? Oh, yeah, I missed the donation. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jay. I see now that it's been an hour. I apologize, but uh, I would recommend just if I miss it in the future, I'm sorry. That's a bad first impression, but you can just yell at me a little bit more. I'm not missing it on purpose. I'm not ignoring. I just didn't see it. This is Asmo Madness. Okay, I actually very recently have been working on a discard-based deck with Asmo in Modern. I will say that like the being in on the Madness cards is kind of interesting, but it does feel like playing a deck like this when you're playing like Kitchen Imp and Rakdos Headliner over cards like Hollow One and Ox of Agonis. And this is, I can post this link in the chat. This is what I've been playing as kind of a similar archetype. It feels like you're having a big step down in power level to play these kinds of cards with not like much like consistency payoff in general. I do think being on like this kind of burn plan with Alms of the Vein, Fiery Temper, Shut in the West is kind of cool. But it really feels like to me you need to be playing like Vengevine and Hollow One over like Kitchen Imp and Rakdos Headliner. Although I guess maybe okay, so maybe you have to play Burning Inquiry for Hollow One, and so if you want to keep your burn plan, which maybe you do, then maybe you actually can't play Hollow One. But at the very least, I'm going to recommend like cutting Rakdos Headliner for Vengevine, and I think you'll probably see a pretty significant power level increase. If you want to be all in on like Vengevine Hollow One, I really do recommend this other list. Other than that, I feel like the list looks pretty good. I like the number of lands. Oh, sorry. Do I like the number of lands? I thought there was Urza Saga over here. I guess it is this list maybe doesn't make a lot of sense as an Urza Saga deck, but no, you actually need to be on like 17 lands. 20 is way too many. Yeah, 20 is way too many, and maybe that's how you make room for the Vengevines while also still getting to play Kitchen Imp, huh? Or Rakdos Headliner, maybe one Headliner. And then, yeah, Gaia Reach Sanitarium I think is a bit too cute. I think that card is way too mana intensive, and the fact that it taps for colorless in a deck like this that is so color intensive, I think you just like shouldn't play it. I don't think you should play Saga. For whatever reason, I thought this was a Saga deck because of Asmo, but this is like one of the few Asmo decks that doesn't want to play Saga, of course. And then Rakdos Charm is also like not a good enough card for Modern anymore now that Splendor Twin's out of the format. This is the kind of card that you get really tricked and you're like, oh, this card's super versatile where I can destroy artifacts and exile graveyards, and I'll occasionally kill someone with the third mode, which you never ever will. But it's like not a very good graveyard hate spell. It's not a very good artifact destruction spell, and like you would be way better set doing something like playing 4 Ancient Grudge in the sideboard and 4 Leyline of the Void. And like I also recommend playing Magus of the Moon over Blood Moon because of Beseiju. A lot of loose thoughts here, I guess. But it gets Kaldra again, which is pretty scary. I'm not sure what we're doing here. I feel like I need to cast this Recruiter, but my artifact destruct or my like artifact anti-artifact cards here don't deal with the Kaldra. I think I just Recruiter. It's kind of weird, but I think I just Recruiter for Carrion Feeder. Oh, I was probably supposed to get Overgrown Tomb instead, but Recruiter for Carrion Feeder is gonna be pretty good with the double Bloodghast and the Witness. Use for the 5 months. Thank you, thank you. Beseiju is scarier than killing your Blood Moon than almost every spell killing Magus. Against Titan, you say it's every spell. It's just like literally Dismember, which they have the equal number of Besejus and Dismembers, but their Dismembers are more taxed because they're going to go after your other creatures. It's just like, again, like you're playing this card for like specifically the Primeval Titan matchup. This feel kind of bad to shock here. Yeah, they can also, they can expedition map for Beseiju. That's, yeah, of course. But they can't expedition map for Dismember. I guess no, I was supposed to attack first. Sorry, then sack Bloodghast to the Carrion Feeder before playing the land. So easy to do that like once or twice over a league. Racing here is going to be pretty tough though, but if we can find a like Mayhem Devil off the Unlucky Witness, we're going to be doing okay. Lexard, thank you for the gifted sub. Appreciate you. Could you run Masked Vandal over 10th Street for 2 double graveyard hate? Could hit Kaldra. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Yeah, you basically always have a creature in your yard too. I like the thought. I like the thought. Here, I'm just gonna... I'm dead to hammer no matter what, so I can just chill and be dead to it. Okay. They have it. Yeah, I like the idea of Masked Vandal a lot. Let me go ahead and cut to 10th Street for that. Wait, did you land already? I thought you were supposed to land at 4.